Well, the challenge or the focus for November, we do have the Two of Wands here. And let me see what's coming through with this here. Well, for some of you, this is coming in as a karmic relationship from the past. Well, I feel like for some of you, it's a past person coming back. For others of you, again, general readings for thousands of people. Others of you, it's someone new you're meeting, but this is a past life connection. Either way, it's a past life connection, but this may be the first time you're meeting them in this life. For some of you, for others of you, this is somebody you've already been involved with in this life, and they're back now. And they were a disappointment to you in some way, or you were a disappointment to them in some way. These energies in general readings can always work both ways. If this were a private session, I would be able to tell you whether it was you or them. Maybe it was both of you. Maybe both of you let each other down in some way. This does not have to be a romantic relationship. This could be a friendship. This could be somebody that you became friends with because you were sharing the same activity. So I'm not really getting like a family connection here. For some of you, it could be, especially if you kind of, maybe it was more like a friendship. You know, a lot of people are friends with, more like friends with their siblings, or more like friends with their cousins, or, you do a lot of things together because you're the same age or close in age. So you may have more of a friendship than a family relationship. But the challenge could be that in November, this person lets you down in some way, disappoints you in some way, or they've done that in the past. And you're either thinking about it, being reminded of it, maybe because it is Thanksgiving, and maybe this is not, they're normally there. For those of you in the States and you're celebrating that, and maybe this person is normally there, but because there's been like a disconnect, they're not coming, or you're not going to go there, or something. You could just be reminded about it. It's not always going to be the case that this person pops up again. Whenever somebody's popping back up, it could just be in your thoughts, right? Some of you may just be thinking about it. And it could be an event, or, like the holiday or a birthday or some sort of reason that you're thinking about them. Again, now the Two of Wands also talks about if this is more of like a romantic thing. If it's someone that you were or are dating or used to date, whatever. It could have been that this was more of a physical attraction. For some of you, I'm getting that that's all you were supposed to do. Your karmic connection was purely physical. So, maybe you learned something from that. For many of you, maybe this was the first love, the first person that you were with sexually. Or the first time you enjoyed sex. For some of you women, maybe this was the first person who, maybe they really knew what they were doing in that capacity, but weren't so good at the other aspects of relationship. Or you were just meant to have a child together. Like the reason you came together was purely physical because this child wanted to come in and this child wanted you to be their parents because of the lessons they were going to learn from the two of you being their parents, or because of the lessons you were going to learn from being their parent. So, wow. Pisces. For others of you, this is some sort of joint venture. This is some sort of joint collaboration with another person or with a new company that you're hoping will bring results, but it could prove to be a disappointment. It could be something you had high hopes for. You were ready to get going with this. You were ready to kind of start working on this. For some of you, maybe this was a new client that you were, especially if you are in the legal profession, you're a lawyer, or, you're a paralegal, or you were really excited to kind of start working on this case, and then you're disappointed with either a decision made in court, maybe it's thrown out of court, or maybe this person decides to go with someone else. For whatever reason, you're upset about it. in November or in the fall. November 21 to December 21. It's kind of like maybe you were hoping this would be a time of harvest, and maybe there's just been disappointing delay after delay after delay here, Pisces. And I mean, that has been a theme of your reading all year. So I'm sorry to have to say that that's the challenge to overcome, but yeah, there's something that you were hoping to partner up with that would be moving forward, either in job or relationship, and it's just not, it's either not moving as quickly. Maybe that's it for some of you. Maybe it's like, I've gotten this job, but they're not wanting me to start until next year, and I need the money now. Like, I need to be able to move forward with this now. So you maybe have a few more months of penny pinching here, Pisces. Some of you may be like, I got the job, but it doesn't start until after the holidays, which this late in the year is pretty often the case, right? So for some of you, it could just be, it's good news, but it's still like, man, I wish it started now. A little bit more of a delay here, Pisces, for some of you. But for others of you, this seems more personal. You got a lot of people. A lot of people here coming up in your spread. In the present energy, we've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. So this is normally a fire sign energy, Aries, Sag, or Leo. Could be male or female in these general readings. Some of you it's going to be females. Some of you it's going to be a male. Some of you it's not even going to be a fire sign. It's just going to be somebody acting like what I'm about to describe. Very impetuous, very disloyal. This is the number one card to me. This card and the Knight of Rods in reverse. I'm not saying all fire signs are cheaters, no, but in the reverse, that is one of the characteristics of the Queen of Rods and the Knight of Rods in reverse, is that they just don't have the attention span to stay with one partner, for any sort of period of longevity. They lose patience. So this is somebody you are losing patience with, Pisces, in the present energy. So for some of you, that'll be when you're watching this video. For others of you, it will be end of October into early November. And you're like, I'm done dealing with this person. For some of you, it could be somebody that you have divorced, or you thought you had separated from, or that you'd never have to see again. And then lo and behold, here they are trying to get in your face. And again, for some of you, it could be that you actually come into contact with this person, you run into this person, or you have to deal with them to work something out. If you are divorcing them, it could be, again, with the legal situation. For some of you, that's what this is. It's like, I can't wait to be free and move on and go find some new partners or a new partner, or be with this partner that's already around for some of you. But, we got these legalities and the legal situation to deal with first. And yeah, this person's really good at starting arguments, but then saying that you started it. They start it every time, but they then say you started it. This is also like that classic person who starts all the drama, but then says they hate drama. Then why does it follow you? Why is your Twitter feed or your Facebook like Days of Our Lives? I mean, it's... But no, they don't start drama. That's part of the reason, Pisces, I feel like you're getting away from this person, or you're wanting to get away from this person. Like, you're just not going to deal with it. You're not going to be blamed for stuff. And you can't handle the tumultuous. You just can't, you don't want to deal with that. You've got enough of your own stuff. You don't need somebody causing more waves in your sea. You know what I'm saying, Pisces? So you're cutting off from this. And it is somebody that you are divorcing, or involved in a situation that you are divorcing or separating from. Getting out of there. Or someone else could be divorcing this person. And maybe you're glad. It seems like something similar came up for you, but in October or September. I don't know, you'll have to rewatch Pisces, but it seems like, yeah, it could be you or someone close to you is getting rid of this negative person. And it's just coming up here to show, like, yeah, you've already been divorced from them, or you're just so glad that because that person's divorcing them, everybody's going to be able to get away from them. The help that's going to be available, we do have the King of Pentacles. So this is money, an offer, substantial, stable money. And I was saying this goal is attainable. If it hasn't shown up yet, because again, this reading is probably going to be more for those of you that it hasn't shown up yet. For many of you, maybe it already showed up in October. For some of you, maybe it showed up in September. But yeah, this is like your goal is protected. You've got this. There's still just a little bit of patience. Or if it hasn't shown up in November, it is coming. It is coming. Your financial offer is coming. Now, this could, again, be talking about an actual person who's going to be a help to you, specifically in the job or money front. So this could be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo person who's helping you out, maybe loaning you some money, or they're giving you this job opportunity. They're sending you, they are recommending you for something. For some of you, this could be a boss who is giving you a good recommendation. Who is, maybe you're trying to get a promotion, and this is your boss is like, yeah, I will help you. I will help you. Or maybe you've been talking about a raise, I would definitely wait until Venus goes direct in November. For some of you, you could really maybe make better strides. I think it goes direct mid-November. So I would maybe wait until the end of November and be like, hey, what do you think about a raise at the start of the year? Would that work out? It'd be super great to have it before Christmas, but I mean, I'll take it at the beginning of the year. So yeah, you could get some sort of confirmation, and that may be what he says, like, yeah, let's talk about that. Let's get it set up, and then, we'll make sure that goes into effect at the beginning of the year. Or yeah, let's change your title and your pay. I do feel like this person wants to help you, but there is a bit of just be patient. Your goal is attainable. It's just going to take a little more time. Or maybe this person is creating this title for you and creating this job for you. And it's still a bit of we're going to start that next year. Maybe for many of you, that's the only disappointment here is like, I've got this. I just have to be patient a little bit longer, but at least I know it's there, it's coming, and I can plan accordingly. What must be accepted about November? We've got the High Priestess in reverse. So, I think for many of you, this is this Queen of Rods, this same person. This is somebody who acts like they know it all and they don't know nothing. It's also somebody who pretends to be very spiritual or be a spiritual leader, but they don't have the studies. They don't have, if they're claiming they're psychic or intuitive, they're not. They haven't studied. They haven't read the books. They've never taken a psychic development class. They don't even meditate, and almost all of their predictions are wrong. So Pisces, be careful who you're getting readings with. Make sure that the general readings have been accurate for you. That's the thing. Accuracy. That's how you know that you're dealing with a real psychic, not, every month they promise you the prince and the castle and then, this is real life, not Disney. So make sure that, you're watching. And even if it's not on YouTube, make sure that you're getting like word of mouth, somebody who's had a reading from them and like, yeah, this person said this and this actually happened. Just because it's not a good prediction or one that you were hoping to hear doesn't mean that person's not a good psychic. The whole point is to prepare you for the future, not to sit here and blow smoke up your ear, right? That's the number one actually way you spot a faker, is if everything is just wonderful and joyous and perfect. I'm not saying you can't be positive. And anybody who's like totally negative is a bad idea too. But the thing is, accuracy. Has anything they've ever said happened to you in your life? You should be able to go back and watch their previous month's videos, or you should have somebody coming to you saying, yes, this was accurate before you do that. But for many of you, this is just in the sense of I'm right and you're wrong. It's conflict with someone close to you. Disagreements, upsets. For many of you, this could be your mom. You know, this Queen of Rods could be your mom too. I mean, again, because I think this is the same person for many of you. For some of you, it's somebody in the spiritual community claiming to have gifts or abilities that they just don't have. They're lying about it. They haven't done the time. They haven't done the studies. They don't have the experience. So yeah, check up on anybody that's, especially if they're going to be sharing energy with you or performing any sort of like Reiki or laying on the hands or claiming to heal you. I mean, you know, you don't want to let someone's energy in if they're not in control of it or they don't know how they're using it. You don't want to connect with that kind of chaotic nonsense. So do your homework on anybody who's going to be doing any sort of healing or spiritual work on you or with you, Pisces, in November. But for others of you, I think this is just a know-it-all who, when you or anyone else points out that, hey, you were wrong about this, or hey, you're not, no, you started the drama or you started the argument, not me. Anytime you kind of point that out and back that up, they really get upset about it. And that may be why you're distancing yourself from this person. So yeah, unfortunately, family dinner could be a little bit, there could be a disagreement or an argument here because you're speaking the truth here, or someone is, Pisces. I mean, this could just be two people who rub each other the wrong way. May not involve you at all. But you may be saying, hey, you two need to, you know, chillax, take it outside, or maybe you two should never be in the same room together again. But don't ruin everybody else's dinner, right? Don't ruin everybody else's time. Others of you, I do feel like this may be in an interview setting or an academic setting, because Ansus is the rune of, taking a test, an exam, going on a job interview, and this person may just rub you the wrong way. It may be somebody you have to work for or with, and you may be a little bit apprehensive about it. And normally I tell people, if that's your gut instinct when you're interviewing with somebody, then I would listen to it. That's your intuition. This can also be ignoring your own intuition, Pisces, about like, wow, that was a really bad experience. That was a really negative energy in the interview. Should I go ahead with this or just kind of follow my intuition and go on to something else, or wait for this other opportunity that's coming in next year? You may be a little bit confused about it, Pisces. So maybe that's why you're talking to psychics. Or again, just pick one who's been accurate, not who's telling you what you want to hear. I mean, but who is accurate, who has accurately predicted things that have happened in your life, because they're going to more accurately be able to predict for sure in a one-on-one situation. So you're going to get some really good advice about how to handle this situation, and it will become clear if you pick the right person. I think many of you, though, and which is often the case when anybody is seeking some sort of spiritual advice or counsel or any kind of psychic reading, is that you already know. Your intuition is already telling you the answer. You either just don't want to hear it or you need confirmation from someone else. You need somebody to back it up and say, yes, you were right about that. That's what I'm seeing too. We can more readily accept it when it's not coming. Sorry about that, Pisces, technical difficulties. As I was saying, when something comes from our own brain, we're less likely to trust it because we can't be objective. So we often need somebody else to come in and say, yes, that's the way I see it as well. So the outcome of all of this, in November, we've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So this is actually money's speeding up. So I do feel like, because in the upright, it's kind of like, yes, it's coming, but it's slow. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. So yeah, there could be something that it's like, it's happening so fast, you may be like fearing failure or feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'll be able to handle this. So you've got a lot of work, I feel like. Whether or not you've gotten this new opportunity, it does seem like whatever you're doing for work is happening, but it is like a lot. So I'm seeing, maybe it's just like, I'm trying to get all this done before the holiday break, if you're in the States, or I'm trying to get all this done before, you know, the Christmas stuff starts, or, but for others of you, it could be like, again, a person, could be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo person. This person could be too. I don't know if I mentioned that with the King of Pentacles. They could be the same person. So, this person could be telling you, like, you know, again, we're going to have to table this for now. There's going to be a delay. But it's not off the table. Like, we'll revisit, you know, instead of saying we'll start this, give you this raise or give you this promotion at the beginning of the year, he may be saying, let's revisit this, table it, and it may be less definite for some of you. Again, there's so many